Here we go. Here we go. Reparations now. Rep your city. Rep your city. To everybody on Facebook, I'm representing Chicago. Everybody on Kick, Twitch, YouTube, and my other Facebook account. I am representing Chicago, Illinois. Much respect to the Midwest. Got the great city of New York, Buffalo, New York, in the building. Shout out to everybody out there in Buffalo. We got San Jose in the building. We got the great city of Shreveport, about to be a major city, major player in the game. Come on in. I had to put this together real quick. I just thought of this. After I seen, what's his name? Hakeem, what's his name? Hakeem Jeffries. Yeah, I know people are really sad about that, the whole thing is with that, and I didn't want to talk about it, but I will right quick now. The thing about that is that people looking at it as a crime. And I've been talking about this for a long time. They haven't been able to identify mental illness. And that's really the underlying problem, because that was straight up mental illness. That was mental illness. Nobody that's sane could do that. And if your anger is able to make you do that, that's 100% mental illness. 100%. And I was talking to somebody about that because they was really angry at him. And I'm like, that's mental illness. How you going to be, how you going to take that in and put that on him when clearly he was out of his mind? It's mental illness. I don't know how long it's going to be before this country deals with mental illness and categorizes it. Because you can categorize a lot of these crimes and determine what's mental illness and what's not. That's 100% mental illness. No ifs, ands, and buts about it. That's 100% mental illness. The whole situation, but I might talk about it. But the whole situation had babies everywhere, the same ages. Had babies the same age. Here, same age there. 2 babies with both women. 2 babies is the same age, and these 2 the same age. So that's mental illness. I've been saying forever, the United States needs a department of psychology and psychiatry. That would make all the difference. A lot of the decisions that's made for the citizens need to be looked at it psychologically. That was mental illness, so there's really nothing you could do about that. I'm sure if I would have met him, I would have seen it. I looked at pictures and stuff, and I kind of seen it. Yeah, I kind of seen it. What blew my mind is how every lot of people was pissed over that, but didn't seem to care about all them babies in Gaza. That's probably with thousands of babies. It's crazy. And the person behind that runs the country still. Let that sink in. Let that sink in right there. You can run a country and do that and you're fine. Isn't that crazy? Let's let some more people get in there. You know, when I got out of high school, I worked at a mental facility. The state ran. They closed a lot of them. I was like, I don't even think I was out yet. I think I was 18. I think I was 18. I think I was in high school. I was really young. I worked for a mental facility, and there's a lot of different categories of that because some of it is mental, but it has a lot to do with physical disabilities that put them in a position where they have like some mental things they can't do. And they used to have them divided by the different, some of them was very violent, have anger issues. They had to put those in like padded rooms. It's a lot of different types. I was tripped out. They was all like had mental issues. It was my first day at work. I came to work. It was about 30 or 40 of them, 35 or 40 of them. It's a big building. They had them all in a big room. And they brought me in and they told them all, they said, "This is Michael." And they said, "Hi, Michael." I said, "Hi." And do you know, when I came to work the next day, do you know every last one of them remembered my name? That was, uh, I was going out like, "Hey, Michael. Hey, Michael." That blew my mind. Every last one of them remembered my name. Just one introduction. These are people with mental disabilities. It was tripped out. Every last one of them remember my name. They greeted me like they've been knowing me for 30 years. I kid you not. It blew me away. They were connected to me the next day, and I hadn't even worked with them first day. I just had started, and they showed me what you got to do. And the next day, they all talked to me like they knew me forever. I was really good at it because I talked to them just like I talked to y'all. I didn't talk to them like nothing was wrong with them. I swear to God, I talked to them just like I talked to everybody else. They got a big kick out of that because everybody else talked to them like they mentor, except me. I talked to them just like they was regular, like they was on the block. I teased them. I snapped on them. I cracked on them. I sure did. They loved it. So certain things happen to me. I know I just had a natural gift for psychology and psychiatry. So something I got from my mother and father. It's like a gift. So y'all, today my conversations, a lot of times they get triggered. I got triggered to this conversation. I've seen Hakeem Jeffries, and you know, I'm following the news on social media. I'm always following news. I don't watch TV because my TV's on my laptop, basically. And I seen Hakeem Jeffries, and I always see Hakeem Jeffries. I guess what he's the leader of the Democrats or something. What is he, the leader of the House or something? I don't know what the hell he is. But I seen him, and I always see him. And this time he was going back and forth with Trump. He said Trump is the dumbest president ever because Trump said something about his mental. And I'm seeing Hakeem, I'm seeing Hakeem, I'm seeing Hakeem. And it's this Democrat election time, right? So they crawl out of their holes, right? They, they crawl out of their holes. He's the speaker for the Democrats. So all of a sudden, these Republicans, these Democrats, it's election time, they start crawling out of their holes. All of a sudden, they're concerned about Americans, right? And it's irritating because you got the politicians over here, and then you got the citizens over there, right? It's the most, especially if you're on social media, it's the most horrible thing ever. There's nothing worse than citizens as fans of politicians, right? The citizens become, I don't know what you call it, like the citizens treat it like it's sports. I don't even I hate talking about the politics. I just have to sometimes, but especially the men. The men are like cheerleaders, right? So they start on this side or that or this or that or this or that side. It's the most horrible thing. And these people, like right now, if there's somebody over here that want the Democrats to win, they can't tell you what they expect them to do. No requirements. There's no requirements. There's no requirements. Of course, you got people who want the Democrats to win because they're Hispanics and they're scared they're going to get deported because they're here illegally. That's a whole nother story. Like, go become a real citizen. Stop running across the border, grifting, expecting support when nobody can get that in the country you came from. That's also so funny. You can't run across to their country and stay there. If you're not from there, they're going to throw you out. And so people run across the border and want to be treated like citizens. That's crazy. So when it's election time, a lot of times there's not really no honest reason that people like this side or that side. To be honest with you, they all have whatever, but most of them, most of the citizens that's cheerleaders for whichever party don't want anything and don't stand up for anything. All they know is they want this party to win. If you ask them why, they have no idea. And this one wants this party to win. You ask them why, they have no idea. And then when you look at the country, you say, well, is there a this side and that side to what we need? Because I would think what we need, I would think we need it from both sides, whoever wins, I would think. And so when you got a political system where, this side win and they're going to do this, and then this side win and they're going to do that, but we need this. That's a circus, right? That's crazy. I mean, it seems to me no matter which party you was in, you see what's needed. Or do we need two different things? I'm confused. Do we need Democrat stuff and Republican stuff? Unbelievable, right? So I try to stay out of it. I don't like to have conversations with political hacks. I find them to be seriously unintelligent. And I find them to be transplant from the sports world. Oh, go, my guy, like that, right? It's not really legitimate like politics. It's pick a side type thing and then decide against that side. None of it has anything to do with the country at all. None, not really. Not that I've seen, and I'm 68. These politics haven't focused on the country since the 80s. Yes, since the 80s, it's been like this. There's no American plan. They're like, if I do this side will be happy. If they win and do this side will be happy. So that's not a country. That's this side and that side. There's no program for the country. It's for this side and for that side. And if you want to be on one of the sides, you got to go over there and you got to agree with what they say they want. If you want to be over this side, you got to go over here and say what they say they want. And if you're just your own group that wants certain things and you don't want to be considered one of those, they overlook you like reparations. You see those of us who want reparations, we citizens just like everybody else, right? But you ever notice how people talk to us like, no, right? On what we want. Like what they want is better than what we want. Like they can determine who wants what and what's a priority to who, right? So you have one American, he wants this. I say I want reparation. That person tells me I don't deserve what I want. They deserve what they want. And they don't realize that's what they're saying, but that's basically what you're saying. That you deserve what you want. You deserve to judge me and tell me I don't need what I want. You come into my lane and try to tell me what I want. Make that make some sense. As if what I want is any of your business, just like you got things you want. It's things, everybody wants something. Farmers want something. Certain people want, women want, everybody's got all these different things. And so it's just a little, so when I seen them, when I see these black politicians and they don't say nothing about reparations, but they always running their jibs. When I see these people push politics and they know there's a lot of us out here, we consider ourselves foundational black Americans. They try to blow us off, right? They try to blow foundational black Americans off, okay, while holding up whatever the hell they are. This is why the country is all messed up. Because other people try to decide what other people should want or whatever. And we live in a country where you could fight for the right to stay here when you're not a citizen, but people that was here, that family been here through slavery, don't get no reparations. But a Mexican or Venezuelan can run across the border and argue if they could stay and live off of tax dollars that nobody in their family put any tax dollars in. And they'll have more respect in the country than foundational black Americans that had all our inventions stolen, have been treated so bad, they don't want to do no documentaries on it, or put it on television because they don't want Americans to know just how bad slavery was. The average white American has no idea anything about slavery. The average white American doesn't even know how bad it was for blacks in the 60s and the 50s. And then so many are, so many people are still extremely racist. I'm not going to say just white people. That's why I said just so many people. There's a large amount of people that just don't like you based on stereotypes. So when they see you black, they got these concepts of what you are. And you could be a black truck driver, go out here and get unalived just driving your truck. I see the police officer search a brother just because he had a backpack. With all these white kids out there with backpacks. Look at this here right here. And America, they don't see that. Oh, no, I didn't see that. So I seen this guy, Jeffries, and he's getting on my nerves, and they're really getting on my nerves. Roland Martin, Jeffries, Cory Booker. They're getting on my nerves because they're talking. They don't say nothing about reparations. Foundational Black America is a big, growing push. Nobody can deny that. Delineation is huge. Yet, crickets. Straight crickets. And even a lot of black Americans, it's really disappointing to see a bunch of people that will be the first ones in line if the smaller group gets reparations, but they don't stand up for it. That's what's most disgusting. When you see these black men, especially, they have no backbone, no leadership. And you don't see them stand up for reparations. Sometimes you see them speak against it. And you know doggone well that if it went through, they'll be the first ones in line. I've never seen a black man yet say, I'm not going to go get it if they give it to you. They'll say, you're never going to get it. It don't make no sense. They'll say everything. They won't talk on the fact, if it was given, would you go get it? And they never speak on their ancestors. To me, when I see a black person say they don't want to get reparations, to me, it's like spitting in their great-great-great-grandfather's and grandmother's face, saying, you got did dirty and I don't care. I'm all right. I could buy some chicken and I got a little house. That's what they look like to me. People that lost their connection to their ancestors. Everybody's talking about these children that got shot, but what about the slaves? Oh, forget them, huh? That's crazy. So I see Jeffries keep talking and he ain't saying nothing about reparations. And I'm thinking like this, these people going to stop playing in our face. It's time for FBA to turn up a little bit more. We got to make sure none of these people win. I think as foundational Black Americans, we should pay no attention to the Republican Party. We should definitely make sure the Democrats lose. Definitely. And I know me personally, it's going to be a bad day if Jeffrey speaks somewhere I'm in the crowd because I'm going to boo him the whole time and tell him to sit down. Because he don't represent me because I want reparations. And if he ain't talking about that, I don't want to hear nothing he's talking about. And he can't tell me what I want. He can't get out there, and this is what a lot of these people doing, in the schools and this and that, and all that stuff ends up being for everybody but us. We ain't stupid. School programs, there's a whole bunch of people in there hardly know Black American. When they get to talking about all this mystical, magical, how they going to help people, it don't include us. It don't include us. And I'm looking at the Black man in 2026, and he's very disappointing. Very. I know a lot of it's got to do with social media, so that's understandable. Social media it's a problem. It's not helping much. But these politicians, when you listen to them, they're not really trying to do anything but get our vote. The Black politicians, they want the Black vote. And then after they get the Black vote, they want to be international. They want to be all Americans. Seriously, like a Hakeem Jeffrey. He'll get our votes. He want the Black vote so bad. Then when he gets in there, he starts talking about everybody except the people he begged for a vote. All of a sudden, it's everybody. That's how it looks to me. Because if it's everybody, stop begging Blacks for the vote and go beg everybody. Stop begging us for the vote. Look at Roland Martin. All he does is pander to Black people for votes, for votes, for votes. He never, ever speaks up for reparations for the Black people that want reparations. He'll get all kind of people on his show But he goes out of his way to ignore the plight of reparations. And I've seen a trick they've been doing. And what they're trying to do to fight against reparations, they try to use Tariq Nasheed to fight against reparations. Yeah. They try to say we're all following Tariq Nasheed. And we're the FBAs, and the FBAs don't. It's a Tariq Nasheed and the FBAs. This is the trick. So when I want reparations, they're going to say, I want reparations because Tariq Nasheed. When I say I'm FBA, they're going to say it's Tariq Nasheed as a way to not have to give us nothing. I know y'all see that play. They trying to use Brother Tariq Nasheed to disrespect the rest of us. Because why Roland always address Tariq Nasheed and FBA, but never address reparations? Make all these people saying FBA, FBA, FBA. They never say reparations. But FBA wants reparations. So why is you FBA, 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 but you ain't said nothing about reparations? None of them. It's like we a joke or something like that. I got a lot to do. I'm busy. I would hate to have to go to one of these Democratic. I'd hate to have to pop out. I hate to have to pop out and get the microphone at one of them Democratic situations. Because it'll be very dominating. It'll go bad for them. Because one thing you can't replace the experience. I was born in 1958. I'm really him. And sometimes these politicians, they don't know. It's the people behind you that you don't see that made you who you are. You only a politician because of me and people like us. We make you. We made you. We made you. You didn't vote for yourself. And these politicians, I don't think they understand that. That you standing on our backs, you up there telling the world that you represent us. But then you ain't really representing us. And then if we go out in front of the world and tell the world you don't represent us and we don't like you and we want you to sit down, then what? Because all that babbling Hakeem doing, if he ain't standing high for reparations, he need to go sit himself down somewhere. Yeah, I seen he went out there and they're going to put him out. Yeah, when he bring up reparations, I seen him. He need to keep on doing what he doing. He need to go to all that stuff and do the same thing. Now, there's a lot of people paved the way. Let me respect one of them. Let me respect Brother Raymond Jenkins. You see, this is one of the people they disrespected. This brother's, they call him Reparations Ray. And this is one of the foundational Black Americans that really been fighting for reparations. Way back in the 50s and the 60s. I figured I'd give y'all a little history. Reparations Ray, Raymond Jenkins, was a prominent Detroit-based activist and real estate agent who campaigned for 40 years for federal reparations for descendants of American slaves. Originally from Memphis, Tennessee, he was the grandson of a sharecropper and moved to Detroit, where he inspired Congressman John Conyers to introduce H.R. 40. Activism based Detroit, Michigan, where he was a well-known real estate agent. Background: grandson of a Mississippi sharecropper. Look at that background. Let me ask you something. If his background is the grandson of a Mississippi sharecropper, he don't deserve reparations? Origin: Memphis. Key contribution: formed slave labor annuity pay. That's basically reparations. And helped found NCOPRA, National Coalition of Blacks for Reparations in America, who later got hijacked by some Pan Africans, took that and ruined it. He was known for working tirelessly to convince people of the need for reparation and was a frequent voice on local radio. And they never talk about this man, and it's one of the big heroes. Reparations Ray. And so for that man to push that for 40 years, for this man to push reparations and say, we coming for our check, and for us to take our foot off the gas is a disgrace to our ancestors. How do you sleep at night knowing what they did to your people recently? You know, they always want to talk all the way back in Africa. No, you did that to us in the 50s, 40s, 30s, 20s, the late 1800s. Recently, there was one family, they didn't find out slavery was over till like 1974. They were still in slavery. It's on YouTube, look it up. A black man with his family, and they never told them slavery was over. They kept people back there. You know, if you've been to Alabama in the 60s, you know, if you was back there on them farms, how would you know? How would you know slavery was over? They ain't got no radios on for you to hear it. The radio gonna be in master room. So where you gonna get the news from? Who gonna come tell you slavery is over? And so as far as I'm concerned, the Democrats, they will not win without reparations. It's not gonna happen. They're definitely not gonna win. There's two campaigns going on: a campaign for reparations or a campaign to make sure that the Democrats absolutely lose. Absolutely. It's either going to go one way or the other. Either those blacks in the Democratic Party are going to stand up for reparations or they're going to lose. Ain't no in between. And the next step going to be these black men out here. If we don't hear reparations out your mouth, we canceling you. It's going to be super ugly going forward because all of this playing dumb and all of this not standing up, I'm not with it. And what irritates me is when brothers stood up, you make them heroes now, but how many people wouldn't have stood up with the brother? Oh, yeah, Rosa Parks is a hero now. But when you look at how weak some of these people are for reparations, you say to yourself, how many of y'all would have stand up with her? You ain't half the people your ancestors used to be. This is ridiculous. I remember black people had some backbone. The black man that put too much oil and grease on himself and too much tight clothes, and I don't know what happened to him. He's got no backbone. As a matter of fact, a lot of black men now, they take pride in going against the grain. They think it's funny. They think it's funny to go against they people when they people trying to do something positive, knowing they're going to be the first one with their hand out begging. The first ones in line to get reparations ain't going to be the ones that fall for it. And it's just getting ridiculous. I watch Roland Martin because I'm following him. I'm subscribed to him. So you know how you go on YouTube and a video will just play. And I watch Roland, and day after day, he's out there hustling for the Democratic vote. He never speak up for reparations out of hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of videos. That man don't say nothing about reparations and I apply for reparations. He act like us blacks that want reparations. Roland Martin act like we don't exist. Y'all ain't noticed he act like we don't exist. He act like only one exists is Tariq Nasheed, and they try to line us all up behind Tariq, trying to misuse Tariq. That's why they be doing Tariq like that. They don't hate Tariq. They hate the reparations. They hate FBA. And they try to use him to hate on reparations. That's going to be a problem too. That's going to be a problem. Because these blacks that don't want to stand up for reparations, not only do we want to get politicians in there that's for reparations, we're going to get rid of all these blacks that ain't stand up for reparations. If you not stand up for reparations, your days is numbered. His days is numbered. Roland's days is numbered, but he don't even take care of himself. So he don't look like you know what I'm saying? He like a Craig Mack song, you know? You won't be around next year because he don't take care of himself. He don't even have a neck no more. So I be feeling sorry for Roland because I be wanting to take care of himself because his head's just sitting on his shoulders. I don't know. He looks sick. So I don't want to see the brother pass away now. I like him to take care of his health and all that. But I'm trying not to get on this bumper. I'm trying not to show him what real leadership look like. I've been dormant, chilling. You know what I'm saying? I'm not 30 no more and 20 no more. So I've been dormant, but I might have to get on this bumper. Because what difference? Yeah, he can talk. He can't talk crazy to me, a little boy. He got to stay in a little boy place. And that's the difference. This big Pharaoh, boy, I'm finna be 70. He don't want to, because the bottom line is he don't get nothing but half. But I don't know why he ain't fighting for half. He half FBA. If one of his relatives is FBA, he get that side of the money. So people that's got all their relatives FBA on both sides get a certain amount, and those that's one side, you still got to get your relatives' money. But is that it ain't the fact he against reparations, it's the fact that his Democratic handlers want him to be a good boy, and they told him they don't talk about that. He don't want to go against the grain. You see, reparations goes against the system. It makes the system have to first admit their faults, and they don't want to admit no faults when it comes to black people. That's something America don't want to do. America could have been did that. And America, just like the fake Europeans that came in to Kemet and was hating on Moses. You know, if America don't treat black Americans right, America's going to be done. Because it's going to always be in a dark space. And then all the righteousness go together. And if you don't get in line with the righteousness, you're going to be wrong with everything. You're going to be wrong with the environment. You're going to be wrong with everything. Because they won't get in the right mind state. The right mind state is to put slavery behind the country and make an atonement with that. And as long as America don't do that, that dark cloud going to be sitting over America. But you just see these politicians just ignore it. It's disheartening because it's just like, if you got to, like me, if I'm a politician right now and I'm running, I'll be honest, there ain't no way I can ignore all these black people that say they FBA. I would have to talk to them. I see it's growing. I see it's going to get bigger than ever. I'll give you a perfect example. Everybody was saying foundational black America been beefing with Africa. And now look at South Africa, where the South Africans said they want all the Africans to get out. The South Africans said they want all the Africans to get out of South Africa because they said the Africans is coming there from other countries and disrespecting them. The Ghanaians, the Nigerians, the Liberians, in South Africa. They are saying the same thing we said about Africans when they come here. They said they come in here and they don't have no respect. And they jumping from place to place to place so they don't have to really put nothing in. And they want them all out. This is breaking now. This is a situation going on now. The same thing we've been saying, Africans are saying about different Africans coming to different countries. They go to the other country and don't respect the other country. Same thing they do here with us. It's the same thing they're doing from country to country in Africa. Look it up. It's all over. It's going crazy on YouTube right now. It's a big thing. They're trying to stop it from turning violent, but it's turning that way. Because the South Africans said they don't want no Africans from no other country in South Africa. Because they saying coming from other countries, they ain't respecting them. Same thing FBA been saying. Trust me, the South Africans, they got a lot of respect for foundational black Americans. They know exactly what we're saying. Trust me. That's why you don't never hear about no South Africans saying nothing to us. So these are some serious situations got to be dealt with. And I feel like for us, all of us alive now, us 2026ers, because you know that's my philosophy. You're not the year you was born. That just gives you historical context. But as far as getting things done, you whatever year you alive. So everybody in 2026 got to get on a certain page to survive to 2027, 2028, like that. And us 2026ers, we really got to make them get that straight because there's a lot of karma and bad energy behind slavery. And that need to be atoned. You got to get into like some consciousness, what they call church type, spiritual. I don't like the word spiritual, but you have to get in that realm to understand atonement. America, until they make an atonement, it's going to be a dark cloud because, okay, if I do somebody wrong and I don't go and make an atonement, what happens is that energy stays there. But not only that energy stays there in the atmosphere, it stays with the person I did wrong, but it also stays with me. So now my whole energy is wrong. Everything I do, my energy is off. Right? Because I haven't made no atonement. That's what they be talking about. You got to repent for your sins, right? People don't know what that means. That means so you could get a new start too. You're repenting for the people you did wrong, but you repent for yourself because until you repent, you won't change. You're going to be the same way. So until America really deal with slavery, America will never be right because it's something that's fighting. That's what's beyond racism. One reason so many whites is racist in America is because they won't deal with slavery. They won't deal with slavery. And one thing about change is you're going to change. It's just how you're going to change. But you're definitely going to change. They're going to change. They're going to change the easy way or the hard way. They definitely go see, and that's the part they don't understand. Beefy, they're going to change. But why would they do it the hard way? Why not do it the easy way? And so these Democrats, they got to understand if without no reparations, you're not going to win. Okay? We're going to campaign against you. There's going to be a heavy campaign against the Democrats. When I made this campaign up, it was too late to push it. Harris was already stepped in for Biden. I might have came up with it right before she stepped in. And it was too close to the election. The election was right around the corner. But this time, no reparations, no Democrats. It's going to be bigger than life. The Democrats will not and cannot win without reparations. It's just not going to happen. It's just not. It's not going to happen. If they don't have an FBA agenda, they're not going to get no votes. And the crazy thing about it is a lot of young Black Americans, they don't want to vote anyway. They already gave up on that. They feel like, that's nonsense. I can't blame them because how are you going to encourage people to vote for nothing? What do they get for their vote? And this country haven't been able to show people what they get for their vote. It's based off of the last election. It was like Trump looked like he can get some money, and it was all based off of looking like he could get people money. I don't know how many people are going to be honest. But Trump won because he was on The Apprentice, and there was this image that he was this big money guy. He know how to get money, even though he was always broke. But the public didn't know that The Apprentice fixed him up and his office was raggedy, and they went and made him look because they couldn't even film it in his office. So I understand they feel like this guy, we need a guy know how to get money. So they put him in there. But now they found out one way he get money ain't necessarily legitimate. It ain't necessarily mean you gonna get none. And now America's saying, yeah, you know how to get money, but if you've been around people to get money, sometimes that means you ain't gonna get none because they want it. You know what I'm saying? So they kind of miscalculate because sometimes people want to get money. They the only ones gonna get it. That don't mean you're gonna get anything. That means his family gonna get money, his son's gonna get money, his wife gonna get money. Are you gonna get money? No. That's where they miscalculated with him. Yeah, that's all. I seen that. Yeah, that's all. But she not even running, so she said absolutely not. You know, I seen that. I seen that. She that's gonna harm her. I don't know if she'll win anything. I doubt if she win the Democratic. I think she's a non-factor. I don't see her winning no presidency. She made too many mistakes. She made those mistakes. A lot of people forgave her, said, okay, she didn't know what she was doing, but she didn't really look that well running like that. So I don't think she'll win. I don't know. I don't think she'll win, but you never know. She might come out with a whole new uh, campaign. One thing is people could change, people grow. So heard 5 years ago, 7 years ago, don't have to be heard today. I've been there, done that. And so one thing I do know about people, especially just even with myself, your past is not 100% your future. And you change, your philosophies change. The perfect example is when I got demonetized, I took a lot of my videos down. They're going to be on my Patreon. You should go on my Patreon. I got all that classic stuff is going to be over there, $20 a month. And I was taking some of them and I was editing them. And you know how much stuff I had to cut out that I said back then that I wouldn't say now? It was stripped out. I'm looking at my videos and say, I don't say that no more. Because my knowledge has constantly been still, you know, improving. Certain things I say, I cut them out or I upgrade it. So, it's like the old version that's not really up to date. So there's a lot of stuff I said, I gotta cut this. I don't even say that no more. It was amazing. XYZ is amazing. When I looked at my videos I did like 8 years ago, 9 years, it was amazing. There's a lot of that stuff I wouldn't say now. It's crazy. So I do know that because you're constantly elevating as a person. So that she said then, that's probably not the same her now. Plus, you know, she was just talking, not knowing she running for office. Some things that you blurt out, you don't know what you're blurting out. When she blurted that out, I don't believe she meant it how it came out when you listen to it. I don't believe she meant it how I watched it, and of course she shouldn't have said it at all. But it seemed like she was a little the way she said it. To me, it looked like she's just a hole in real life, and it showed that like she's arrogant and uppity. You know what I'm saying? And that came out. That's one thing about her. Because I campaigned for last year, but you when you campaign, you have to overlook the faults of the person you're campaigning for. That's a whole nother issue. When you campaigning, I campaigned for her last time, and a lot of people don't understand what campaigning means. So campaigning is not if I'm campaigning for somebody, it's not the same as like voting for them. It's totally different. When you campaigning for somebody, it's like working for them. So you're not really like a voter, right? You're campaigning. And so if you're campaigning for no matter who, whether it's a Republican or a Democrat, if I'm campaigning for a Republican and then that Republican says something pretty bad, I can't acknowledge it because I'm campaigning for them. So I got to blow it off and roll with them seriously. It's not like I'm just an independent voter once I'm working for them and campaigning. And that's for anything. If you're working for a rapper and the rapper do something mess up, you can't say that. Now, individual people could say it, but you can't because you work for them. You're part of the team promoting them. So you got to try to finagle and blow it over and clean it up. Is it phony? No, you work for them. It's not phony. You're not independent. You're with that team. And you can't expose your team to the other team. That's something, if you do talk about it, you talk about it in private. It's just the way things go. But she's a little, I don't know. I don't know if she's got the training to do it. Maybe she could sit down with somebody and they could help her. But she's a little arrogant, a little snappy. I don't know. She's liable to say the wrong things, or that's why she was smiling so much, because she's really kind of mean. That's why she was overdoing it with the smile. Yeah, because she ain't like that. She mean as hell. Now people say, well, how could you say she mean? Well, when I say that, I'm saying that as a man. Like if you was trying to holler at her and that was your wife, I'd be like hell. The white guy, he's handling it. Who knows why? Because he'll just leave her too. But if that's your woman, oh man, it's a mess. Back at home with her mood swings and her attitude, you can already see it. If you've been with a lot of women, or if you know women, you can see. You wouldn't want her. She would not be on the list if you want to be like happy life, happy wife. She would not be the happy wife. You've seen what Will just said about Jada, right? So that's why she was trying to giggle more, because she's really stern. She's a prosecutor. She ain't no. She'll lock you up and throw the key away. She ain't. You know what I'm saying? Like that. But if you campaigning, it is what it is. You gotta act like, what I'm saying, if you campaigning for Trump, you gotta ignore everything. You can't say none of his faults, not if you campaign for him. I just was doing it on my own. That's why I didn't take none of the trips and stuff they offered me. Cause they was trying to get me to come to the headquarters and all that. I'm like, I ain't doing all that. I'm just doing this just for my viewers and stuff. But they seen it. I was one of the best campaigners out there for her. That was a lot of free work. That was the only thing. I was so glad. But one thing I was cool with, I was making my own banners and stuff. Other campaign people, they got to go pick up their banners and stuff. I got the graphics. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause I'm in the music business. So I was doing it like how you do recording artists. Her team was like, "You make all that stuff on?" It's like, "Yeah." Wow. They said, "Wow, you make all them commercials and stuff yourself?" Yeah. They tried to fly me out. Yeah, yeah, kind of. But the question was a little weird. You got to go see the question. You got to see the way the question was and the way she answered it. It was a little strange. Thanks for supporting the channel. Y'all support the channel. I got to go watch it again. If I watch it again, I'll come break it down. It was something to it, the way she said it and what they said to her and the way she said it. I got to watch it again. Yeah, I'm saying I got to watch it again, Goshen. There was something about it because it sounded crazy when she said it, but it was like I'll go watch it and I'll pull out the psychological part to it. Because when she said it, when I heard her say it, how you hear somebody say something and you go, "She a hater." But when I heard her say it, I said, "What the hell she said that for?" I really didn't pick up what she said. It just sounded to me. It sounded like she didn't know what the hell she was saying. Cause it ain't nobody in their right mind. It ain't no way in your right mind you would have said that. So the way she said it is what I'm saying. She's a hole. So what she was trying to say is no. She took it where would I just do everything for black people? And she was trying to say, no, if I'm the president, I'm gonna do something for everybody. But because she kind of snobby, she like, absolutely not. She said, I think that's what she said. Absolutely not. And then I was like, oh, hell no. Oops. It's like, see, she need media training. Then they jumped on her bumper. Hey, Goshen. Boy, when they jumped on her bumper, she kept thinking, why did I say that like that? Because that will stop her from winning ever. I don't know if she knows that, but I don't believe she can win. I don't believe she can win. I don't really like her. I don't like her. And this is what I say about people could change. Now, people say, okay, Pharaoh, you campaign for her. What the hell you mean you don't like her? And y'all chop this up and show everybody to say why I don't really support her when I support her. And I'm going to tell you why. I campaigned for that woman day and night, night and day. I even went downtown to the Democratic convention. They wanted to fly me out to the city before that, but I didn't want to do all that running around. And when she lost, you know that damn woman didn't come and thank us. She just went on. She left all them children in Washington, D.C. She didn't come back out and make a speech. She didn't come back out and say thanks for your support or nothing. The damn woman just left. That's why I wouldn't vote for her. Because she could have, if she would have said thanks to all my supporters, I'd been like, cool. Lady, I've been posting for you since the day you jumped in the race. You couldn't come and say thanks or nothing. Man, I went off on her. Who watched when I went off on her when I got back from downtown and got back to the office? Man, I went off on that lady. Man, that lady bogus as hell. Man, that's why I don't like her. That's why I don't like her. Because she didn't say thank you, nothing. She just left. She just left. I ain't gonna say she don't care. I'm gonna say she with a white dude. She with a white dude. And he a white dude. He don't understand. It's a black woman. See what I'm saying? She was with the white dude. It's a different culture. So now when she was hurt, because you know she was hurt, she was crying, all that shit. You know that. You know she was crying. You know she was hurt. She was too distraught to go back up there. See what I'm saying? And the white guy, he tried to be compassionate. Okay, baby, if you want to go, let's just go. See? She would have been a black dude. He would have been like, listen, man, get your shit together, man. Oh, whoa, give me some tissue. Cut all that shit out. Get your ass out there. See what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? That's what happened. I could pretty much tell you what happened. It ain't she didn't care. She was just hurt. Her heart was broke. She was crying. I bet she couldn't stop crying. And then what's going on with her menopause and all that? Where's she at in her life? See what I'm saying? Y'all know anything about women? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, she abandoned it, but shoot. I've been married a few times. I know exactly what she did. She didn't really abandon me. I was pissed because it was bogus. But you know, I ain't never thought about it until I talked to y'all because I'm into psychiatry. So I never psychologically analyzed it till now. And now that I got to look from her point of view and try to look back, because all I was thinking about myself, like you B-word, you ain't saying nothing. But now that I'm thinking back and I'm looking at it analytically, I ain't going to really hold it against her because, yeah, I know what happened. Hey, Coach, hey, man, you young brothers, I don't know if y'all ever been with a woman when she just lose it and it's over with. Not as far as the relationship, but whatever's going on, it's deep. It's deep. And her father's still black. So she was just, it would have took a really strong dude to get her to go out there. Because I could just imagine. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure that's why she didn't come out there. She couldn't get it together. She didn't want to go out there crying like that. And she was boo-hooing. You know what I'm saying? She wasn't crying like, you know what I'm saying? It would have took a real man. You would have had to holler at her. Hey, Goshen, sometime when they like that, see, her husband, he ain't had that. You would have had to holler at her and curse her out and kind of get her mad to get her from being so sad. Yeah, you would have had to snap her out of it. You know how the Three Stooges, pop, snap out of it. You had to, I can't. You wouldn't. I wouldn't have slapped her. But the Three Stooges, you know, when Curly would get crazy or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And then she just had a husband. You know, a lot of times them black women like that, they get the real softy kind of husband. That's why a lot of times they like the white men because they can find it's easier to find a white man like that than a black one. It's easier to find a white man who's like, it's all right, honey, and stuff like that. Sure. Hey, goes, that sound good. But for a woman, yee, when a woman's fed up, it ain't nothing you can do about it. It's like running out of luck. Kelly already told you. Hey man, I done been coach. I done been with some. I might not even been able to get them to come back. Y'all young brothers just don't know. I done been with some black women that if she say she going on and it's over with, it's like running out of luck. It would have been nothing I could have did. That's a trait that I think only the black woman got that. I ain't gonna lie. She the only one go that far with that I know. Yeah, I wasn't happy with it at all. But I'm trying to look and see what happened. I know what happened though. I know what happened. If she didn't come back out there, you already know what happened. I never thought about it from that point of view. I always thought about why she run off. But now that I got to think from her point of view and I had to do my real psychological evaluation and say, okay, Kamala, she lose. Oh yeah. Oh, it was over with. I forgot about that aspect. Hey Goshen. Hey Goshen. I forgot about that aspect. I got three daughters. And my youngest daughter ain't nothing I would have been able to do to get her to come out there, Goshen. So I got to think twice. My middle daughter, I could have put her together. But the baby, once she would have got upset, right? And it's like a upset. And then if you're trying to de-upset them, the anger on top of it, no, I don't got you. You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay. You know what I'm saying? It's like a nervous breakdown almost. It's not, it's psycho. Yeah, my youngest daughter, there's no way I would have been able to get her out there. She got that. Yeah. There's a certain point if she would hit it, it's a wrap. We just gotta take her home. She ain't going. See, some women ain't that stubborn. You could be like, okay, come on, no, you gotta go out there. But man, listen, my youngest daughter, she not going. When she get to that level, she is not in her right man at all. She not going. No. It take a long time for that to go away with her too. She be stuck like that. It's a personality trait that some people got. Had to think about it. Yeah, I know situations. I know women. I couldn't get them out there no matter what. They would have threw them three words. They got them three words, Goshen. I don't care, and they mean that at that particular time. She seemed to be that type. They strong when they doing something, and when they break down and they fed up, they strong going that way too. They strong going this way, and they quit strong too, and they ain't going. So I could see why, but I could tell her this: she ain't winning. She not. If I was her, she shouldn't run unless she's just trying to get some campaign money. You know what I'm saying? She wasn't saying all that. She just crying. She wasn't saying F these people or nothing. She was hysterically crying, hysterical. She goes, no, no, no. She not. She ain't screaming. It's a whole nother vibe. I'm telling you, like a nervous breakdown. It's really nothing you can do. They lock up. They just lock up. You can tell I've been with a lot of women, and some of them they just lock up. It's a wrap. Once they lock up, it's a wrap. It's over. There's no reasoning. There's no sensibility. Nothing. Nothing. No, all that's over. That's most likely what happened. When I look at her, yeah, she would be that. Yeah, she would be that. That's the only way she would have left. The only way she would have left is she didn't have no more self control. Because I'm sure everybody was trying to talk her to go out there. I'm sure the whole team didn't say, "Yeah, let's go." They was like, "No, go ahead, guys." Right? She had to go against the whole grain. When I think about it, I'm not gonna hold it against her no more. Now that I think about it, good to see you, Shauna. I ain't gonna hold it against her. I didn't think about it. I didn't think about it. But my youngest daughter, yeah, she ain't no way we could have get her back out there. If she would have got to the point, if that girl would have got to the point where she a young lady now, if she would get to the point where it's over with and she ready to go, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. Can't nobody get her out there. Not me or mama. Nobody. Anyway, that's that. We're gonna be pushing like we always do, but politics now, they don't have to have anybody's agenda. They can just get up there and you know what they run on? They don't run on doing nothing for nobody. They run on, I gotta beat them. I gotta beat them. That's what they running on now. I swear to God, they running on, we gotta beat the other guy. The Democrats' whole thing is, we gotta beat the Republicans. They ain't offering nothing but just beat the Republicans. Politics is at the worst it's ever been. This is the worst politics I've ever seen. It's horrible. So just keep pushing reparations. Victory.